I greet you this day with the light of the suns, all the suns in this world that live in you, representing your solar sun from this galaxy, representing the great central sun, and representing the Christ ray, the golden ray. And with that, we are pleased to say, this month is your celebration often of the sun, of the divine male energy, of the fathers in your life. So we wish to let this be a point of conversation that is specific to the male consciousness, the frequencies carried not only in the male embodiments, but in all human and non-human experiences of life. So, how many of you had read of my words to invite you to this place? We know that is not usually done. Oh, we have heard it all. I just know you're there on Tuesday. I just know it's always nice, it's interesting, it's full of love. I just go. You say, come, and I come. So, because I have a request for you to read my words. Someone, please.
There is only one. Duality exists through many dimensions as sacred masculine and sacred feminine ever flowing, ever merged in the dance of creation. For humanity, it serves to understand the sacred nature so that there will be healing of the distortions of expression. Until this is restored to first creation in source, androgyny has no place in your dimensions. It is an unfilled possibility often based in confusion about the true role of divine masculine. Every human contains the nature of this duality, and balancing can be achieved by understanding that it relates very little to human sexuality. Rather, the balance is achieved by learning the steps of the dance. The Ascended Master Kuthumi.
Oh, so being you are here, you ready to dance?
Yes.
Are you ready then to look, to give, to receive, to flow, to exercise your human expression of creation? That's what it's about. So, I appreciate that, thank you. So you've heard discourses, some of you, from other master teachers regarding male, female, regarding the feminine, and sometimes how it is that the masculine frequencies can be used in alignment to create. But more than that, I wish this time to talk about how it is that this duality exists in such a sacred way that there is no separation in it. Polarity often is a word used to be a substitute word for duality. Not so. It expresses opposition. It expresses the need for complete separation, holding separate points. That's not all wrong, it's just not duality. Duality is that nature of your spark of being that lives in that purpose of bringing energies into your world, bringing life to the things in your world. That's the male energy. It is the force, as it is often called, the frequency of the delivery of intent, the delivery of proclamation, the delivery of decree. So when you hear in your Bibles, as some read them, God said, "Let there be light," and it is. So it is. Let there be that decree coming into world as you see it now, based upon the intention. And that which was created by intention had to move through the feminine substance of what may not have found form in creation, and it is then utilizing that substance to create form. You do it in your own body every day. The cellular structures of your body are being made to support, to create, to reinvent how your body will express into the world. It follows a blueprint, and when that blueprint is clearly focused, it looks one way. And when that blueprint is charged with other conflicting beliefs and intentions, the creation distorts. Because the divine feminine, which is the substance again in your body and in all of the universe, serves the will, the intention of the divine masculine frequency. What if then you understand your human physical body to have genetic potentialities, and you only identify those genetic potentialities based upon the heritage that you have come to believe you are born through and of? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yourancestry.com. All that idea that you have learned and have believed based on very primitive science understanding how you are the way you are. That primitive science defines whether you are a female body or a male body, that decides with you in that blueprint whether or not those are going to express the way the traditions would have them express, or to uniquely express. It will determine, based on this primitive science, whether you have dark or light hair, dark or light skin, blue or brown eyes, etc. And some have become so aware, keenly aware in their viewpoint of all of this conversation about the genetic coding, the DNA in your forms, in the cells of your body, that they use that as weapons to build stronger beliefs. You think, humans do now in your primitive technologies, you think you can test for and therefore avoid, eradicate, or in some way prepare for the possibilities of malformations that might occur. You can look in utero for your potentiality, or you can look to say, my mother and my grandmother had cancer in their bosom, I will probably have it, maybe I should test for it. And then out of even that belief that that's how it all works, people will make choices to try to alter and eradicate, often in very dramatic ways, not based in the reality of what they are as creator capable of, but based in the fear and the limited knowledge. Is this familiar to you?
Mm-hmm.
So I would advise then that it is not important for you to fantasize, to make up this idea that you can pretend that everything is going to be all right when you can see there is a pattern emerging or a probability that is greater than what might be seen or understood. You can then heal, but only in the love of all of those patterns, the love of how that dance is done in your creative process, male, female. You understand? Maybe not.
No.
All right. It's so clear to me. So here might be then, that let us use the example again, that perhaps a mother tests her unborn child for any possible genetic disharmonies in creation, in expression. And if it is early enough in that pregnancy, she may choose to abort that body, or maybe we'll do surgery in the womb on that body, or prepare for the possibility of what most people still would believe, no matter what that conditioning might appear to be, prepare for the worst, as people call it. So if they're already preparing for the worst, what chance is there for there to be a different demonstration of the power of creation? It's very obedient to the intention, the thought, and the belief that is structured. Structure begins in that place. And out of that structure, it becomes more challenging to reform and recreate, which is why it is a very important thinking. To notice the fears and notice the limitations in information so that there can be an acceptance and an at-one-ment in the processing of human life as it expresses in the soul. So that's just one place that kind of life possibilities seem as if it's now a breakthrough to your science to be able to control and manage all of that. Your science believes it can cause prediction and change of the sexual expression of the child as it is even forming as this tiny embryo. So that is how life begins. And how it is received day to day is the nature of the dance. But humans are not taught this through most religion or most science or most entertainment. It is certainly not that. It is the dance taught on rules, customs, and distortions. Some cultures will say, I pray I do not have a daughter. Some will say, I pray I will have a healthy child. Some will say, I pray my child is intelligent, physically strong, able to do the work that would be necessary. Each culture presents a creation of another part of a blueprint that can override or put limits upon what is the soul's blueprint for the DNA, for the actualization of the manifest life. So by the time you are walking, talking, learning your culture, learning to read, learning to focus, you are fed the propaganda of your culture. You are fed the limited information and limited beliefs most often. You are fed the fears of how it is or how it might be. There is a lot then to unravel out of that precious stumbling activity of your early life in human form. If your cultures accept that male embodiment and female embodiment are purposeful in serving equally with strength, beauty, grace, and potential beyond the seen world, things will manifest in new ways, in a great fun dance. It is only then when it is that these cultures determining your beliefs about how it is that a male embodiment and a female embodiment will have to struggle for its identity and its purpose, that we find there are bigger barriers. Do you think that you can will your life form and all that which comes in and through your form into the world, that you might will it to be a certain way? Trick question. Potentially, and most definitely, yes. Where things fall apart from this, from our view, is that you want it to be the way you will it to be out of the fighting the fear of what it might otherwise be. So that there is no sense most of the time that what you believe and what you are willing to occur, your intention, is not so much what you would want, but what you do not want. Have you found that to be true? That you're stumbling into manifesting the things you want in life, the relationships you want, whether it is a relationship with an intimate partner, or parent, or friendship, or subordinate and other, relationship to work. The struggle is often because you are intending and willing it to be the way you want it to be, so that it isn't the other way, or another way. So the divine masculine, important aspect of the duality, is powerless without completely surrendering and giving everything of its intent, its will, its focus into the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is the cosmic goo, you could say, of non-existent and non-demonstrated substance, and it stays there until there is a merging with the divine masculine will and intention. It all exists, but it is not manifest until the merging, the acceptance of the consciousness, now purposeful. So that's happening before your body is even here on the planet expressing. It's happening in what you call the 5th dimension, the 12th dimension, and whatever numbers you like to give it. It happens that the duality is the nature of creation. The struggle of it is primarily in the 3rd and 4th dimensions, meaning your earthly dimension, your physical understanding of realities, and the in-between worlds that you play in. Whether you call it the astral worlds, your etheric playgrounds, your sense of exploration being led by your understanding of the 3rd dimensional frequency. So, the divine masculine has a lot of work on this plane, a lot of work. Might as well give up now. What could you do? From the comedic human mind, it is seen that for survival in a relationship with the feminine energy, it's really critical to shift the beliefs that you have any power in any of it. You begin to know that if I want harmony in my relationship, I need to not be willful, not be directive, not be standing up, but be the submissive and allow, just to keep peace, the feminine to rule. I cannot tell you that that paradigm is useless. It just isn't the way your consciousness is designed. But neither is it designed that the male in embodiment needs to be in relationship with a female as a dominant, controlling, forceful energy. Can you see that in these distorted ideas in most cultures, that there's only 1 or 2 ways to be, whether you're male or female, 1 or 2 ways. You're either dominant or submissive. Or you are stubborn, willful, pliable, in the flow. That's what you like to think in these days. That somehow you can't be organized to dance with the appropriateness of leading your own life choices in the process of creation with a full heart mind, as some call it. If a feminine embodiment, a female embodiment, or a feminine stream of essence living in a male body, let's just call it that for now, either of that expression would then say, I have no power, my culture, my society is against me to have the power, what happens? Many things happen. But one of them would be the distortion of ever having a sense of fulfillment in your dreams, in your desires, in your ambition to grow, expand, and produce something besides what the world has told you you are here to produce. Whether that producing would be a child, or whether that producing would be a certain expected activity. That powerlessness is getting stirred up in your cultures now, isn't it? The divine feminine is standing up, finding a voice, finding the power to say, I will not live in the fear and in the limitation and the demand of a distorted male energies, not of the frequencies of the divine masculine. So it has been said by many and many years, for many years, that there will be a return of the goddess. I think you're witnessing some of that. One of the ways you're witnessing it is through the movements of women standing for their right to be heard and to choose for themselves. Another way that the divine feminine is showing up is in places like Hawaii, Guatemala, and other places around your globe where Mother Earth is letting everyone know who's the boss. Not better than, certainly not more powerful than any individual, certainly an individual ego, yes, more powerful, but as a demonstration of the need for there to be a shaking up of what is important for the divine male to know where it is needed. It knows now that there may be, with all that movement in substance, a place for creation to really happen. Women cannot create it on their own, men cannot create it on their own. When either believes that they have to or that they need to, it will not look good. It will not feel good. It will not be expressed in its best potential. I am inspired in the moment to give one with a little tidbit from our perspective, because I know it will have resonance in the world of a couple of people in this space, and that is when through your meditation, through your breath, through the movement consciously of the energy of the divine feminine rising and wrapping itself through the body, there is a clearing and a cleansing when you do it. Let me just say again, with a clear intention and a well understood purpose. Some people have had what they would consider negative, I don't like the word, but for the common human usage, negative experience with their kundalini rising a little too fast and opening things up in a way that they weren't prepared for. Whether it was through misguided experiences of meditation or visualization or breath, or whether it was through drugs, into the body, a chemical that would have induced that. And so some around that there has been some teaching of fear. Don't do it, don't practice it, don't mess with it. And we would agree, we would give caution, but not a fear, because we want everyone to know that there are so many wonderfully easy ways to have the experience of the marriage of your divine masculine feminine frequencies. The Kundalini frequencies, as they're often referred to based on spiritual teachings, cannot rise only of themselves any more than the divine energy can manifest a whole lot of anything by itself. And so we would encourage that for some who have any sense of fear that they haven't healed yet around practice of that energy, to first focus on the energy coming through the crown, down the spine, gently up and out your third eye. And allow that to recognize that as a flow, that you're connected. This out here goes where? Into the cosmos, that you're still breathing back in. And what's occurring is that it's not directly coming like here, up here, but you are priming it and opening and clearing, so that when this energy starts to merge into each of these chakra points of your body, there will be a most exciting charge, a most exciting, not exciting like a Disney thrill ride, but a most exciting through your cosmic joyful merging. And we want that for everyone. So that's our recommendation, not just in a sense of beginner, but in a sense of somebody to practice that is a very gentle way for the energy to come through and flow without forcing or visualizing it even having to start in the center of the earth and come up through them. It's going to be there. You can't, it's already by the practice I've just described, it's all of it. It's the male, female, it's the flow. And when the flow is not blocked, you know, people do a lot of work with chakra clearing and all that's interesting. But as you feel the energy as you breathe and you feel the energy touching each of the points of your chakras, you might notice it flows more fully or a little more trickling in a way through. Just don't force it, just keep bringing it through. It's like if you had a pipe in your plumbing and it started to get gunked up by hair and toothpaste and whatever, you know, it's not going to go down that U and out very easily. It'll stop, it'll get blocked up. So one way to do it is just to gently poke through, gently, or you can ram it through and then it flows. But you also run the risk when you do that of poking a hole in the pipe, right? So I'm just saying, for symbology, give it a try if you haven't done that, because it's such a healing and gentle way to breathe your unity of masculine and feminine in their divine space within you. Are you alive?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awake. Alert.
And?
Enthusiastic.
Yes, thank you. I give you a great blessing that in the heart center we are bringing about the golden light emanating through the emerald, pulsing, shining of that center in your body. letting that become this gold and green light into everything that you are doing. And through the wisdom of your crown, the golden white light becomes easier for you to receive the wisdom of your being, the knowledge received, and that which you think you need to understand is illuminated in its perfect moment, in your perfect breath. So I bless you with all of these as truths of God consciousness that you are dwelling in. And I align with you in the ray which teaches absolute union.